Can PulseChain do a 100x from today's price? Yes, absolutely it can. I'm going to show you the calculations and the numbers. And I think it's important to brush up on these, friends, because in light of recent events and all the scamming we've been copying from the crypto industry, and oh, Japan, they're going to remove the blurred pixels from their adult films. Okay, what else are you going to shock us with, okay? Hell will freeze over before they do that, by the way. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you these calculations. I don't know, friends, they're just squiggly lines and stuff, but no, there's proper formulas, and it helps that there is a sacrifice wallet with enough money to do this by itself. And what I'm going to do now is just show you how we get these numbers, friends. But on a plus side, right, so far, before we even look at these 100x, PulseX has been screaming up lately. This is PulseX versus Pulse. So what's going on? Look, friends, I know I don't have any proof or evidence of this, but I don't know. I got a feeling. I got a feeling it's just Richard doing this. I don't know why. I got a feeling what he wants to do is he wants to drag up everything together. So he wants to basically like, hey, PulseChain guys, you're really strong. We got to let PulseX just adapt a bit higher, just like rotate a bit higher, and then we have a nice ratio, and then I can just basically boost everything up. I'm guessing. I don't have any evidence. I'm not looking at any chain or anything, but it just seems like it seems like something he'd do. It seems like it's something you do because he wants to give everyone a good deal, right? And PulseX, by the way, is the worst deal by far that Richard Hart's ever given on a relative basis from everything. Because straight away, day one sack, absolutely destroyed. And even worse still in terms of people who put in $10 million plus, even with their bonus coins, they're down as well. They went down like 50%. That's how bad it went. Like you got a 2x multiplier and you still went down 50%. So this is great as well because it's deflationary, friends. And I'm going to show you something, right? We're going to go through this. See, PulseX, right? It's up to 4.66% total supply buy and burn. So it's still ticking up in the background. And one of you gentle friends as well, you're going to ask me for some Pokemon music. I know you are. I wanna be the very best that no one ever was. And you asked me about the tokenomics. They said, hey, is this ratio moving this way because PulseX is deflationary and then PLS is inflationary? Not necessarily. A lot of these things, these tokenomics, basically, they can't fix all the fundamentals, but it could just come down to just, you know, someone in the background doing some magic. And we've never seen a DEX this powerful in terms of the tokenomics with PulseX as well. But also, we've never seen a DEX this expensive too. So that's why that ratio, friends, that ratio number is 0.6, almost 0.6. So it means like, wow, the DEX is 60% the size of the layer 1 chain, huh? If you go check like a Uniswap, it's about 5%. So imagine if you wanted to get the fair value, you'd have to drop PulseX down another 95% from today. That's another way to look at it. Or another way to look at it is PLS has a pump up 20x. But we don't live in that vacuum world, okay? We live in our world, and our world is it's the same community and the coins are split. And we had this revelation as well, like you know, if someone says to you, oh, this DEX is expensive versus this, go, bro, meme coins now exist and we're just a bunch of communities living digitally on chain. So like screw however you think the world works because these things are just going to pretty much blow your mind anyway. Like explain to me how PEPE is bigger than like 99% of ecosystems out there in crypto. Literally PEPE, no staking, nothing, can't do anything, just like anonymous devs, pretty much. 2 of the devs sold, by the way. 1 dev's still in. How's that bigger than most of everything? You know, because it's the size of the network. That's all that matters. It's people who believe. Now, friends, before we even look at this 100x stuff, okay, which is right here, I'm going to show you. This is the Pulse to ETH ratio. It's PulseChain versus Ethereum. Now, we are down roughly, I think it's around 90% today. So there's a tiny, tiny curl here. We're curling up slightly down here. All right, so we're down 90% from May to 2023. Now, if we do a 10x from here, so if we did a 10 from here and Ethereum didn't move in price, we're pretty much back to May 2023 in terms of the ratio on the launch. And that's what that represents here, okay? And then you can move up. You go, all right, well, what if Ethereum is double? What do we do? Well, if Ethereum doubles, then you need to move basically 20x up, right? Because Ethereum, your hurdle rate is now higher, right? What about if Ethereum goes up even higher? Interesting. Yes, that's see, as Ethereum goes higher, friends, we have a higher hurdle rate to climb. It's the same with everything in altcoins, right? So if you, let's say you had a $10,000 Bitcoin in your hand, you bought it at $10,000 4 years ago, which is roughly its price back then, and then you put it into an altcoin. Well, if Bitcoin ended up doing like a 6x after that point, it went up to 60K. But if your altcoin only did a 5x, you're like, oh my gosh, I literally lost money. Okay, Bitcoin, I gave away precious Bitcoin and I got less return than the index. Yeah, another example, right? If you give me $1 million, you could be putting it in treasury bonds and get like 5%. But then I go to casino, I gamble, and I basically come back with like a 3% return at the end of the year. You're like, oh, dude, I literally lost money with you. Like you took all this risk and you still got worse return than just putting in safe treasury bonds. Okay, so that's what we're always using as our frame of reference. So you make sure you don't get grifted for the rest of your crypto career. Kind of hope that we don't need to wait too long, right? I'm hoping you don't need to learn this lesson the hard way like everybody else has, but you're kind of feeling it right now. Now, if we do it 100x from here, friends, I know we need some dopamine, right? So PulseChain is 40x day one sack. PulseX is 23x day one sack. So Hex from Ethereum, EHEX is 13 cents. PHEX is 55 cents. Incentive is $200. That's the 100x, okay? And we're just saying, oh, nice 100x. Yeah. But also the total Richard Heart ecosystem size, if we did 100x, it would be around a $160 billion market cap. And it's perfectly achievable when we look at the Ethereum prices and the total crypto market cap industry we're going to. It is perfectly achievable. I'll just tell you now, though, there were 5 coins where they had a resistance around 50 to 100 billion. Doge, SHIB, BNB, Cardano, XRP, even Solana. All right, even Solana. So you have now like 5, 6. So when those coins hit, like SHIB hit 45 billion, stop there, right? Doge hit 85 billion, XRP hit 90 billion, Cardano hit 100 billion, BNB hit 105 billion. So I know these numbers off by heart. And Solana, I can check it now as well. Solana, I have the chart here. Solana hit 75 billion at the top, November 2021. I don't know why. It's some phenomena. It just appears for some reason. The 50 to 100 billion market cap number, there's a lot of distribution around there. Pretty much, I guess, like it's just some sort of hurdle rate, and it's not a fluke. It's happened pretty much with every single coin. Okay, and I mean, friends, live right now, I had no idea. In 2 cycles ago, so in 2017 cycle for crypto, Ethereum stopped at around 100 billion market cap. That's wild. Look at that. Here's 100, it spikes up. So, I mean, look at this. It does the triangle burst from 75 billion to 125 billion. So there you go. Like the 100 billion pretty much is your target. So like that's wild. I had no idea. No, like for this was live. Okay, we've got to play some like more music. I'm actually shocked, right? Like, what are the chances? Looking at this, first time, okay, Ethereum as well. All right, I don't know how I find this stuff live, friends. I'm not preparing for 99% of this stuff. This is just crazy. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so there's something about this number of this 100 billion, 50 to 100 billion zone. Right? Okay, 50's on the lower end, 100's up the top. Yeah, I don't know why. If you're curious as well, I had a quick look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes to 100 billion. All right, this was in that 2017 cycle, and then goes up to 300 billion. It comes back and it settles around the 100 and capitulates after. So, I mean, look, when it hits 100 billion, if you look at what was this price zone around, I think this was about $6,000 for Bitcoin. $6,000, and it goes up to $20,000 up the top here. So yes, that's it. I mean, like, look at that. That happened once though. You only have one example out of 7. Actually, yeah, out of 7 or 8, one blows 100 billion and goes to 300 billion. You see how dangerous it is? So if you're at a coin, if it hit 100 billion, that 50 to 100 billion mark, if you're wrong, you're dropping 95%. If you're right, you only got like another 2-3x-ish to go. You know what I mean? So that's why the stakes are high. Now, PulseChain, right? PulseChain ecosystem today is 1.6 billion. 1.6 if you add up all the coins. So that's that. This is where it's going to be tough, right? Is the rest of the crypto industry just going to ignore the rest of the coins? I'll be honest. I think they actually will. Okay, I'll be honest. I really think they will, friends. I don't see like Crypto Banter Ran and Miles and Kyle Chassé and anybody else. If Richard Hart forces a PulseChain Altseason, I don't think these guys are going to be going, hey, let me go compute the EHEX plus the PHEX inflation. Let me go do the GC and the GIZ. I don't think they're going to do that, man. I think they're going to go to GoPulse.com or PulseCoin this. They're going to look at this market cap, removing the origin address, and they're just going to look at this number. And they go, wait a minute, PulseChain, you're only 630 million market cap, and you guys got the fluffiest microphone of all time, someone wearing a Pikachu hat, right? Highest value content in crypto is covering you. What? You shouldn't be 600 million. That's a joke, right? So that's where the magic could actually appear, friends. It's because the rest of the market sees them as different coins. But you can't cheat it. But I'm just telling you, if you add up all the coins, right? If you add up all the coins, and it's 1.6 billion today, if we did like a 50x, all right, let's say that's all the core coins, Pulse, PulseX, EHEX, PHEX, Inc., 50x, okay? If you did 50 times whatever PLS is today, just PLS. Okay, remember the whole ecosystem, friends, would be 50 times, like, so 1.6. The whole ecosystem would be 80 billion. And what I'm going to do is just draw it here now. So the whole ecosystem would be 80 billion, but PLS would be 30 billion, okay? Only 30. You see? So you're probably wondering, okay, why? What's the significance of that? Well, somebody has to buy Pulse at 30 billion market cap, believing it's cheap. You get me? So, like, it's not gonna like get to a point. Like, the only reason we hit 30 billion market cap for PLS 50x higher is because someone thinks it's going to 100. Yes, so those are the types of the mentality things you got to like get yourself into, right? Also, for example, it happens everything in crypto, right? Bitcoin. Who's going to be buying Bitcoin at 200k, friends? It's people who believe we're going to flip gold. 600k is coming, 700k, 1 million's coming. Those are the people buying that very, very top. Okay, so I think over time this also rectifies the EHEX PHEX issue. That's what I think happens. I think people getting their head around that over time. I think the EHEX PHEX, it's like a stock split. I think the issues get rectified. People just see them as two different stuff, right? I track combined hex because I'm tracking just price performance things, okay? I just track that because I want to track that. But as time just dissolves or the pain and, you know, new people coming in, they're like, hey, let me get this, let me get that. I don't think they're going to be thinking about that whatsoever. And that's obviously playing to our advantage, right? So it also helps with unit bias and stuff, right? So if you did 100x from today, friends, remember 100x, you got your 40x day one sack for Pulse, 23x day one sack here for PulseX, 13 cents, 55 cents, $200. So those are nice numbers, right? And the PulseChain altcoin, so you're talking about any altcoin, went to meme coin, the alien guys, the PDI, Pico on PulseChain, Dick with Butt, HOA, Teddy Bear, Troper ecosystem, anything, man. Like, if Pulse is going to go a 100x, some of those coins will do a 200x up to a 1000x from today. They will. Okay, they will. If it happens in that final burst euphoria moment. And these numbers, by the way, they're not out of this world, friends, because if you do those number multipliers to match PulseChain to Solana, if you boost up all the PulseChain altcoins, you literally get the Solana meme coins. You get their same size. So like PEPE on PulseChain, for example, friends, is like, I don't know, like 1.7 million. Okay, 1.7 million market cap. Yeah, PopCat and all these other ones, they're like 600 million. So that's a 350x return on PEPE to PulseChain, PEPE on PulseChain. And Dick with butt, 350x, 350x, 200x. Do you see what I mean? These numbers, and then that they're not even the dog with hats. Dog with hat hit 4 billion. Okay, so that would be like another, my gosh, that would be, friends, that would be another, wow, that would be like a 2000x in something. But now there's going to be one unicorn that does a 1 or 2000x. We got no idea what it is, the 2000x from me. Everyone's going to say it's their own coin. I hope it is. I hope it is everyone's coin, but friends, I mean, look, these numbers are so big. Like, who the hell cares? You know what I mean? Like, we're in early. See how it's like, if this thing works out, you win the game. Everyone wins the game. Now, if you're sitting on the sidelines, you're like, how do we do these numbers? These numbers sound so stupid and unbelievable. No, there is a formula, man. I'll go through this a lot, but I'll go through it with you again. Even if you think there will be heaps of selling pressure along the way, there's still enough room for a clean 30x. So I'll have that 100x number, right? And it puts PulseChain ecosystem. That's the thing, man. Like, if we did, friends, a 100x from today, Pulse itself is 67 billion market cap, right? 67 billion. And you're looking at it, you're like, that's not too expensive. Like, that's around the resistance zone from everything, right? Remember the 50 to 100 billion? But then you might have to say, well, what if it turns out we have to add up all the coins? This is where there's some room for error. Things get blurry, but we're having fun anyway, right? So you don't need 100x, man. Like, you know, I think everyone here is just happy with the 10x, by the way. But look, obviously, we're open for more. Now, look, just to get things moving. Now, you can go to GoPulse.com. You actually find out the liquidity on each coin. So you have Pulse, Inc., PulseX, PX. I added EHEX. So I hope EHEX is so small, friends. It's only 369k. This is the funniest thing about, like, you literally, if you want to make EHEX do a 10x, you only need to add 1.8 million. That's wild. Net buy pressure. 1.8 million makes this thing flush up 10x. If you want to do 100x, 18 million, right? But there'll be net selling pressure. So that's the type of reality you have to deal with. Now, the total liquidity, very important, because there is a Uniswap formula. That's why these things, it's all code. It's not like magic, right? It's just there's actual code, and there is a formula. And if you want to find out how much a price is going to go up, you go to how much is on the offer, and you go, oh my gosh, I want to find out how much like a 100x money is required. So if there is, so what I'm going to show you right now, right? Let's look at literally just Pulse. Pulse is 29 million. That's total liquidity. That's the buy and the ask, okay? You're only worried about what's on sale. So you remove the ask side. So let's just make it round number. It's a 15 million on the offer. So if you just wanted to make Pulse go up by itself, all right, you're looking at that 15 million. And you go, interesting. Okay, if you wanted to make it go up 100x, you're going to do the square root of that to be added on, right? Or another way to do it is you go, wait a minute, what would happen if I 10 times that offer? So it's 15 million on the offer. You go, oh, I have 150 million. All right, we're just approximating. 150 million put in will give you the 100x price increase. So you see this, right? So you have 15 million on the offer, right? And then if you put in 150, right, that's a 10x on the asks. So you will get a 100x price increase. That's actually what gets there. Now, because they're all liquidity linked, all the coins are bonded, okay? It's basically all, there's cement everywhere. When we do these theoreticals, you got to be a bit more open to the fact that you need net buy pressure in there, net. So everybody has to hold hands and agree the value is higher, we're not selling. Otherwise, someone pushes it up 100x today, and then someone just sells and just swipes it back down. So no one wins in that scenario except one person. But how do you avoid that? Well, how you avoid that, I guess, you know, people might, we postulate, we speculate, like, okay, maybe Richard Hart comes back, maybe he's streaming more. And there's exogenous factors in crypto, right? So Ethereum maybe is busting $10,000. There is, maybe interest rates are lower, whatever it is out there. Just the cycles progress. Bitcoin's 100K plus. That type of environment making everybody so bullish on crypto. That is probably enticing everyone to start seeing maybe a 30 billion valuation as now cheap. Whereas right now, 30 billion for PulseChain is expensive. That's how everybody's seeing it. But you need a speed to go up so much to make everybody basically like unlock higher prices in the whole crypto. So if you add up, friends, all of the asks, so you want to say, hey man, add up all of these, what do you get? Well, you get, friends, literally $58 million. I have here, see, total ask side liquidity is $58 million. So you go, wow, if I want you, the whole ecosystem, Pulse, PulseX, EX, PX, if I want all of you to reprice 100x higher, I need a net buying pressure of $580 million today, right? Okay. Now, friends, because you gotta make the offer 10x. Don't worry about the exact calculations. It's just annoying to do it. Like it's actually 9x higher because you got to add. But don't worry about it. It's just like it's a rough number. Okay. Just so you get an idea. Okay. Now, who's going to come and buy that? Well, we have a PulseChain Sacrifice wallet. It's got 170,000 ETH. Now, it's taken a big temporary price quote loss so far, a big hit. It's because of the Ethereum's down. It's worth $425 million today. But we know everything what's happening, friends. We're here to play for the whole cycle, okay? Remember, playing the whole cycle, friends. That's why we have Pokemon Journey music. I know, there's always these ups and downs, man, along the way. Let me tell you something, right? Even if, let's say Ethereum, friends, let's say I put it to $5,000 today. You would feel better. You would say, oh, Richard's trades on side. You would say that. But he might not think it's the top. He's not selling. So what's actually changed? Nothing. Except the price quote on your screen and my screen. That's all that would actually change. You'd feel better. You'd feel more excited. I know I want to feel more excited too, but logically, like from a factual point of view, if Ethereum price just went up, it's not at the top yet. What actually, like nothing actually changed. Okay. So then we got to think about it the other way. Okay. Price went down. Nothing's actually changed. It just, but no, friends, it makes you feel bad. Of course, red candles make all of us feel bad, right? Now, there's 170,000 ETH, and then, it doesn't take a genius to figure out, all right, well, geez, 170,000 ETH. If Ethereum is $10,000, okay, and we can draw it on our charts here. If Ethereum is $10,000, we have the chart here, okay? Let's say ETH is $10,000 one day. We go, wow, you actually made it. You did a recovery up. You did nice. You actually went to $10,000. You somehow went up here. All right. The wallet, PulseChain Sacrifice wallet, it's going to have 1.7 billion with a B. All right. Now, remember, you have one hand, you have 1.7 billion with a B, but I just told you to make it go 100x, we only need 580 million. All right. So this obviously assumes that he doesn't sell along the way or anything. But you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's enough money. It is. But of course, there's asterisks. That $580 million insertion we need, it has to be net buying pressure, which means all the sells along the way. And remember, as he's buying, there's people FOMOing in. Then there's more buy and burn, a bit from the PulseX and stuff here and there. So there's people FOMOing in, and then maybe like Bitcoin and Ethereum going up themselves naturally makes people more bullish. So there's those people coming in, but there's also all the people cashing out along the way, and they're dumping along the way. Now, you don't know what the net of that is. The net FOMO with the exiting, the dumping and quitting. You have no idea what that is. No one knows that is. If you knew that, you'd be a trillionaire tomorrow. But I'm just telling you, it is nice to know that we have, theoretically, right, 1.7 billion would be there, and we only need net 580 million to that 100x. It is nice to know that. And then you can even think of a scenario where, let's say he spends all of it. But he might not, right? He might not. He might leave some for the next cycle. But let's say he did spend all of it. He could literally fight $1 billion of sales. He could. All right. And then he could still have net $580 million. Now, but here's the thing, it's not as easy as everyone thinks, right? Because as the prices go up, you need more money and volume to fight it off. If people are dumping along the way, you do need it. So I want to just show you this, that 100x is on the table. It is on the table, okay? Because, friends, I'm doing conservative numbers here. I'm thinking in my head, oh, yeah, imagine like everybody sells. No one wants anything to do with it. But then you're underestimating, right? You can't possibly feel bearish if Ethereum is broken $5,000. Yes. Like, I'll just draw it for you again. You know, if you see, friends, if Ethereum is like literally breaking $5,000 and it's just sending up higher, like no one's bearish, dude. Everyone's coming in crypto, like, crypto. Everyone's going nuts, you know? So everyone's talking about crypto's the future. I've got to be in crypto. You know, so you have those people coming in. And I'm talking to you about a scenario where Richard Hart forces an alt season. Okay, so this is also key information you got to know. Like I do this research for you, friends. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Share with your friends and family. In 2021, Avalanche, AVAX chain, they had a forced alt season. They only spent $180 million, 180, in the form of their own shitcoins, basically, their own minted tokens as incentive programs. So not even real money. They didn't hand out Ethereum or US dollars or anything like what we have on PulseChain. They just handed out their own tokens, and they got their freaking alt season. Insane. They got it in September 2021, and it was enough. It took over the whole crypto industry for Twitter for like this whole month. Everyone put the red triangle out. Everyone's like, yay, snow theme, snow theme. And I was like, dude, snow themes are never the final bosses of any game, except maybe Last of Us, one of them, right? But most of them, no. Okay, that's just like an interim. You can't conquer all of crypto being snow themed. The sun melts the snow. All right. Now, obviously, they missed this very important fact when they were making the white paper for this, but they still had their time to shine. Okay, they literally did. Now, if $180 million could capture people with attention to what you're probably wondering, okay, how did that even capture people's attention? It's because they give this money out to these different protocols who are on the chain. And if you're providing liquidity, it's basically just DeFi Ponzi stuff. But it's DeFi Ponzi games where people think it's like it's a gold rush. Oh, come and get the money, come and get the money. All right, now, that's $180 million, man. What do you think 1.7 billion is going to do? What do you think that's going to do? Even if he starts this rotation game at a lower Ethereum price, at like 7,000 Ethereum dollar price, you still have 1.2 billion. That's enormous, man. You're still 5 times bigger than Avalanche back in the previous cycle. And you know what I'm going to do, friends, just because I love and appreciate you? I've got the Avalanche price chart up now, and I'm actually going to check with you the market cap of what Avalanche did back then around in September 2021. Okay, so we have in September 2021, here you go. So this is where Avalanche season started. So look what it peaked at. It still peaked at 30 billion. Wow, 30 billion. And you only did an $180 million incentive program. So that's actually wild when you think about it. $180 million, friends. Like, I want to do that. Oh man, that's crazy. That's a gold rush of sorts. That's big. That's big. And people bought in. People bought in naturally. There was no like artificial people coming in. Like if you want to do this number, that's big, man. That's what I've just done right now is, friends, see this number here? 166x. What I would have done is I looked at, okay, how much money were you offering people for the gold rush? And then how much bigger was the market cap versus that number? So how much bigger was the market cap peak versus that stimulus? And the number's 166x. So if you wanted to do that same thing for PulseChain, you could do 166x times 1 billion, and you get 166 billion, which is actually, friends, a multiplier of today of actually 97x, right? And what I've done is that's adding up all the coins, PulseX. That's how I'm being more conservative. So I'm looking at it, man. Like these numbers, it's possible, man. It really is possible. You get that 100x. You get that 100x. Okay, I've shown you on the chart. And you know that's why before I even do these, I remind you, I always check the ratio of PulseX. I go, yeah, well, is this number doesn't make sense? Can we get this number? Yeah. To get these numbers up here, you have Ethereum at $10,000, right? Ethereum did, so well, this number, friends, just to show you this ratio. So as Pulse moves up, this chart goes from here, okay, this box to this box. This distance is 25x, okay? It's 25x. And what that basically means is if you put in 1 Ethereum today, right, at this lower box down here, you put in 1 Ethereum, you used it to buy PulseChain, PLS, and then you sold it up here and the distance actually went up here, you would get back 25 Ethereum. That's what it means. You did a 25x versus ETH, which is like literally that's, you hit jackpot times jackpot times jackpot here. Because remember, I've told you, friends, like if you can get a 3x on your Ethereum, you pretty much smashed it. So getting 25, you're awesome. But like, it's not all rainbows and fairies, dust and everything, because we need like a 4x just to get back to break even. So we dropped down 75% from our ratio July 2021. Okay, so I'm just being realistic. That's the volatility, right? So you go down a 4x, you go back to the 4x, and then you go up from your break even. It'll be you going up like a 6. Okay, so think about that. So we start from 3 years ago ratio, we drop 4, come back to break even, and from ours we go up like a 6x. So that's it, right? So that's why it's important to buy low, sell high. So let me know what you think about that. All the ratios, they line up if that happens. And I've just shown you it is definitely possible to get a total Richard Heart ecosystem of 166 billion based off these numbers that we saw. I did it for you live. I did it for you live. So remember, even a 100x, just to clarify, it puts Pulse at around, 65 billion market cap. And you might say, oh, no, that's the resistance zone. Yeah, but bro, that's 100x away. Friends, isn't that amazing? Like, by the way, what Bitcoin, friends, Bitcoin doing a 2x, you're already above 100K. Okay? There's going to be resistances around there, right? And you're like, oh, but we're going to 200. Yeah, but you got to sit through that 100K first with me. What about Ethereum? Okay, Ethereum at 10K. Okay, that's a 4x from here. There's going to be resistances there. They're going to be dumping at 9K, 8K, trying to fake everybody out. Isn't that great? So Bitcoin does a 2, Ethereum does a 4, and you've got like big redistribution resistances. And PulseChain, we're not in this 2 or 4x realm. We're in 100. 100. We're like, okay, now we might got some issues. That's good enough for me, man. Is it good enough for you? It's good enough for you. Now, here's the thing. I finish these off by saying, all right, throw everything out. Let's say I'm too bullish. Divided by 3. Divided by 3. Let's say I'm just way too bullish. Divided by 3. Like, that's still good, man. You get a 33x from today. A 33x from today. That's big, man. That's big, friends. Like, if you have 1 year of living expenses in crypto, let's say PulseChain ecosystem, and it gets a 33 banger from today, man, you got 33 years of income. You're done. You don't have to work for the rest of your life, pretty much. You just live off the yield or whatever you decide to do, right? Even if you only have, like 6 months put in, yeah, that's 15 years worth. See, these numbers, but look, they're not too good to be true. Why? Look at the pain, embarrassment. Look how deep value contrarian it is. And we're in such a corner of the crypto industry. We're not listed anywhere. Richard Hart's disappeared, but we know he's still there. You know what I mean? He's not streaming anymore, but we know I've got a puffy microphone. And we know there's 170 content creators. Matty Allen's still doing the PulseChain and Hex conference. We know that stuff. The market's just not waking up to it. They've given us a 1% survivability rate. I think it's more like a 95% survivability rate. So there's big information asymmetry with us in the marketplace. This isn't free. It's like, okay, we literally just have to give our blood and our organs and our 19 pounds of flesh just to get here. Okay, yeah, but if you win, it's worth it. It's totally worth it, okay? Let me know what you think. 100x. Hey, would you take 20? Pretty good. 20x, friends. Make sure you like, subscribe, bell button, and I'll catch you in the next one.